1480 KBMS, Vancouver, Portland.
You heard from Gospel 4 with their single titled Have a Little Church, and then starting out the set, you heard from Doug Williams with his single titled All of Me. And before we get back into playing some really other great gospel music, we're going to continue our conversation that we started last Sunday regarding the I-5 Rose Quarter Highway construction. And good morning, James. How you doing?
Good morning, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning, Portland, Oregon. God bless all for a beautiful day.
I hear you. Let's pick up, from your conversation last Sunday, regarding the I-5 Rose Quarter highway construction project that's going to be starting up. Especially young people who are looking into working in construction, where can they go to get the skills? Will they be on the job, or is there a specific schooling that they can go to get the skills?
Yeah, and there are a range of places where they should go, or traditionally they should have gone, and one of them was the Urban League, which, traditionally had a good job training and referral program. To be honest with you, I'm not sure where they are on the I-5 corridor, I-5 corridor job project, but that's one good place. The other place that they could go would be the NAMCO, the National Association of Minority Contractors office. They have a website, National Association of Minority Contractors Oregon. People can go there and to find information. Nate McCoy, the executive director, Nate McCoy, they should leave a message. And I tell you, I'm just going to put my phone number out there. If anybody really wants to get a hold of somebody that can get them into a position where they can get a job, I'm at 503, area code 503-936-0277. They can hit me up on Facebook, Messenger, and, I'm out there trying to promote this project, so I'll be happy to try to refer them to a number of places. I would advise people that are not going to be into a union that they go to the Northwest College of Education, which is another thing they could, put into their Google box and Google and come up with information. They're always looking for new, interns and or apprentices on those programs. So those are a few places, Angie.
What kind of salary do they receive once they get the training in the different areas of construction?
Well, they're always above the living wage. All these construction jobs, if you're even at apprenticeship level, you're going to be at $21, $22 an hour. And it goes all the way up to $45 once you get to journey level, $45, $50, and sometimes $50 an hour. That's the exciting part about it. And I got to tell you, and most of these guys who are working on these construction jobs for 5 or 6 years, they have more discretionary income than they know what to do with. They buy all these toys. They go. I'm talking about people other than look like me and you. They have a lot of toys, boats, motorcycles. They have discretionary income. They can buy a house. Their credit score is always above 750 because they have the capacity to be real stakeholders in this economy. And so that's the exciting part about these jobs. I would say on an average, you probably would not be making less than $35 an hour. I'll give you an idea of people who do flagging, traffic control, on prevailing wage jobs. They got to be somewhere in the $35 an hour job range.
And this particular job, the Raimore is going to be involved in, are they going to be trying to recruit women that's going to be working on this project?
Yeah, that's been one of my pets. Because if you go and look at Caucasian or other minority groups, they disproportionately have their women represented in the workforce. African Americans, to the contrary, very few black women are represented in the construction craft, and some of that has to do with cultural stuff, but, you know, I don't know about you, Angie, but in my family that comes up from the South, all black women were the most powerful group. They could outwork the men in the field. I was talking to my aunt, they could outfit cotton picking more than any man, you know, could. So we really missed an opportunity by not having strong, capable women in our industries. And you know, disproportionately African American women are raising families by themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so important to get African American women involved in the construction industry. They should be well represented, overrepresented, because they disproportionately are carrying the burden for black families in our society. And so I'm pushing forth through some of these committees a special emphasis on trying to make sure that black women are involved. In fact, I heard just recently, I haven't checked it out lately, but there's a new configuration of black trucking women who do actual dump truck work. Mm-hmm. So I've got to follow up on that more, but that's a beautiful opportunity for black women to get involved in this industry, and especially on this I-5 expensive project.
Where can women go if they're looking into go into construction? Do they go to the same kind of schooling that, you know, maybe a lot of the men, or do they try to get, you know, training while on the job?
All of the above. Construction Hope is one pre-apprenticeship program that's ran by a black woman. I do not have the actual contact information in front of me right now, but it's called Constructing Hope. It's a pre-apprenticeship program for training people to be prepared to get into the industry, and that's it's an African American specific program. It's although they take anybody, and I forget the name of the woman who runs it, but she is very willing, has been doing this for several years now, and has had a real modicum of success in making inclusion efforts on the part of black women. And then there's Women in Construction, which is primarily a venue for white women, but mm-hmm. nevertheless, they boast that they are interested in all women being in construction. Women in Construction, all one has to do is Google it, and they should be able to get information. And if they don't, hit me up. And if they have resistance or can't get through, call me, and I'll be happy to intervene on their behalf and make it known that these outfits are not doing what they say they're going to do. So let people know I'm out here advocating for them.
And speaking of people advocating, what has Governor Brown and even Mayor Wheeler have to say regarding, you know, Raimore Construction getting this big job? Have they got in contact, or what are their feelings, or have they said anything?
Well, you know me, I'm going to push it out there for real. Governor Brown has been pretty good. He's been pretty remarkable in not drinking Kool-Aid from some community groups trying to hold up this project. Mm-hmm. She recognizes that unless we have some economic capacity in our community, all this so-called social justice agenda is about a bunch of nothing, because we've got to have a baseline for our people to be able to survive in our community. And we've gone decades after decades without having any real resource to make it happen. So the governor has weighed in and has done some compromising with some of these groups opposed to the expansion of this project, but she's come up with a compromise solution that I think would work for everybody. Conversely, however, I've been fairly vocal on the absence of the city of Portland's participation on this project. They were asked by ABC, which is that about a vision project, vision program, to hold back on supporting this project, and to my chagrin, Mayor Wheeler has been silent. Prosper Portland has been silent. And you know, the truth of the matter is all of this is in their venue. And they should be at the table front and center trying to make this happen. And they've been AWOL. And I'm very pissed at that whole notion that our mayor and Portland area, and we've had very little commitment and or participation from local people advocating that we get these jobs online and get our people in a place so they can participate in our economic society. That's the long and short of it, Andy. I'm sorry to give you that report, but that's what it is.
Well, but that's okay. That's what I kind of like figured, that everything has been pretty much silent, especially, for the city of Portland. And what kind of...
Let me just hold up a second. This is going to be a sad situation because now we have the most diverse city council in the history of Portland now, and on their watch, if they're not careful, they're going to be blamed for the absence of participation of people of color who they're in theory are supposed to be representing. So they can't be silent on such a huge project. And to this date, now I'm thinking particularly about Commissioner Mapp, who I supported, and I hope I can have in future days some conversation with him. But they got to get out of that box and get on with the business of trying to make our community the best place on the planet for African Americans to live.
I hear you.
So far, they haven't done that.
Well, time is running short. And what kind of role is some of the organizations like the NAACP in the urban league? Sorry. What kind of role does the organizations like the NAACP and the Urban League play in this regard to this project?
Well, let me take the Urban League. I'm disappointed in the Urban League. They have a very capable, intelligent director over there. They got some pretty good board members, but they're nowhere near what they need to be or should be in relative to trying to promote business opportunities, economic and employment opportunities in our community. They're basically silent in many ways, and I'm disappointed in that because I know the intent that the Urban League has, and they could do a lot more, but they're definitely not visible to the degree they need to be to make stuff work in our community. That's a sad commentary. The NAACP can't get out of their own way. They have good intentions, but they're all over the place. We historically, in the last several years, we've had piss poor leadership from a guy, a preacher dude that was running the thing, and he blew that thing up, and new group has come in that's ran by Sharon Gary Smith, and some of these young people, they have no historical context of what the NAACP is about. Therefore, they're running all over the place doing all kinds of things without conforming to, the structure the NAACP has been successfully trying to implement over the last over the centuries now. So I think they're going to do some organizational things with the NAACP, and they can't get out of their own way right now. They need an executive director. They got a significant amount of money, and I think it's going to go sideways on them. And so I think all they're doing now is trying to protect their brand and act like they're trying to do something. So God bless them. I hope I'm a lifelong member, and I hope it succeeds. But they got to get their act together.
I hear you. And can you give us your number again for people who may have additional questions and stuff, and they kind of know with your knowledge, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can call me at, God knows, so I'm going to have to be careful because I'm calling about everything.
I know.
503-936-0277. But hold on, let me give you Nate McCoy's number, which is at the AMAC office. This is about construction. And he needs to get you know what? And they need a hotline for this whole project. They need a 1-800 hotline. I'm going to suggest that to them the next time I tell these cats trying to do this thing. But I'm going to give you Nate McCoy's number, okay?
Okay.
Okay, well, Nate's number is, one second here. Nate McCoy his number is 503-756-8660. But the next time we talk, they better have a hotline.
this conversation next Sunday. And James, I want to say thank you.
Yeah. So can I say one other quick thing?
Yeah.
You know, we have to connect the dots between what's happening on this gang violence and the shooting in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And someone says there's nothing that stops the bullet better than a job.
That's true.
And I really believe that. And really, that's the whole essence of the I-5 thing. The more positive things can get into our environment to give these young people something to do, then the better off we will be. You know, my mama used to say, idleness is the devil's workshop. And God knows our young people need to be stakeholders in this economy. They need to be stakeholders in building a better Portland. And when we do that, I think we'll find there will be less negative and, violent activity in our community. We need to connect those dots, Angie.
I
At that point, I guess I can set up now. Let's get on with the rest of your program.
Well, I appreciate the insight, James, and again, thank you for giving enlightening us more about the situation, and we'll continue this conversation next Sunday.
Okay, take care now. Have a good one.
Hey, you too. God bless you too. Bye-bye. Mr. James Posey, and he's given us more of an insight, regarding the I-5 Rose Quarter highway construction, and he can help. The jobs are coming, with this big project coming up, and I'll be giving out further information. Keep it tuned here to 1480 KBMS.